what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Lord H1213 here with the first installment of Yugioh History 101, where we take a look at all the old deck styles and all the old cards that we used to use before things like Synchros, Exceeds came out, back when fusions were actually really hard to use, because nobody had polymerization at the time or anything like that. Anywho, before I get started, I'd like to say that I'm kind of mad at my video recording software right now. Like, for some reason, it would not let me record both from my microphone and my computer at the same time. That's not really important right now. I'm just saying that's why I was out the game for a little while, because I wanted to do both, but it wouldn't let me. Anywho, I'm rambling. Let me just go ahead and get on with this old deck that the namesake of this episode, I should have bought some bug spray, it's come from. The card today we're looking at is Parasite. Okay, before we get started, once again, I'm really glad that this was not the TCG artwork, because I'm telling you right now, if I opened up my Pharaoh Servant pack and I saw this card would have been in the trash. I would not have traded it. This is nightmare material right here. For those of you who don't remember this card was used by Weevil Underwood in the Battle City arc of the first Yu-Gi-Oh series that hit America. Weevil Underwood, well, okay, I guess he used this effect wrong. Instead of actually using the effect in the game, he just snuck the card into Joey's deck and tried to make it look like, oh hey, this card's in your deck, you gotta play it now. That's not how it worked. For those of you who don't remember, this is how the card actually works. It's a flip effect. You put it face up in your opponent's deck and shuffle it. When your opponent draws this card, it's special summons to their side of the field in defense position, and it inflicts 1,000 points of damage to their life points. Then all monsters on the field, on their side of the field, I mean, are treated as insect types. Now, for those of you who actually remember this card, you're like, oh man, I remember this. I feel like this is like the first viable troll deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, if you had this combo going, I mean, like, obviously this isn't the only card in the combo. I'm actually going to get to the other ones in a second, but I'm just saying, if you had the cards to pull this off, you were a dick. You were a dick in Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, yeah, the show had a whole bunch of troll decks, but this was like the troll deck that we could actually do, because the effects in the show are pretty much the same as the effects in the actual game. Anywho, nowadays this card ain't that good, because you basically just gave your opponent a free monster that they could easily use to Exceed, Synchro, Tribute if they felt like it. You get the idea. But getting into the other cards, you'll be able to see why this card was like somewhat devastating back in the day. The next card we're looking at is Drill Bug. This is direct support for Parasite. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent's life points, you can select one Parasite card from your deck, shuffle the deck, and place it on top of your deck. Sorry. Anyway, so obviously you can only have up to 3 copies of Parasite in the deck. It was pretty tough to draw any one of them out, because nobody actually had 40 card decks back in the day. We all had as many cards as we could throw in as we wanted in our deck. Or at least, that was just me. I think when you're about like 10, 11 years old and you play this game, you want every good card you have, you want it in the deck. So it was that much harder to draw into anything you actually want. So this card kind of helped out. Of course, with only 1,100 attack points, how often was this thing dealing damage? You're like, yeah, you could wipe the field with Dark Hole, because yeah, people still had Dark Hole at the time. And actually, I don't remember the ban list back in the day, because I never actually looked at it, but I can tell you right now that I had 3 copies of Dark Hole sitting in my deck. So this card could actually work out. Now going on to the other key part of the combo, Insect Barrier. What the? What's wrong with the... Sorry about that. It was kind of lagging for a second. I don't know why. I think my computer's just kind of stupid sometimes. Anyway, Insect Barrier. Insect-type monsters on your opponent's side of the field cannot declare an attack. So if they have Parasite on their side of the field, they ain't doing no attacking. You're just kind of looking at them like, what? You got all those pretty monsters on your side of the field, and they can't do a doggone thing. The funny thing was that, like, once again, only speaking from my personal experience, because I don't know how many people were tournament playing at the time. I don't know what kind of cards people were running. This was like way back. I was just into the game because the show was awesome. Anywho, so I know I personally wasn't worried about cards like MSC or Heavy Storm. The worst I was worried about was Magic Jammer and maybe Dust Tornado. Just because I actually knew what those were, and I knew what they did. I didn't even know Heavy Storm existed at the time, so it's whatever. Anywho, these first 3 sets of cards could be found in the Pharaoh's Servant pack, which was like the 4th booster pack. And once again, I'm sorry, my computer's lagging for some reason. I don't know why, nor do I really care. This is way overdue. I'll try to figure it out at some point, but it's whatever. Anywho, the next card we're looking at, Jade Insect Whistle. This card actually came out in Invasion of Chaos. Now that might be ringing some bells right now. Invasion of Chaos. Where have I heard that before? This was the card that introduced cards like Chaos Sorcerer, BLS, Chaos Emperor Dragon, and I think there were a whole bunch of good monsters in that set that we actually used today. So this is like, when you got this card, you were like, what the heck am I going to use this for? Well, once again, this is also Parasite support, because when the card gets shuffled into your opponent's deck, you can't really make them draw it. So Jade Insect Whistle kind of fixed that. They select one insect type monster from their deck, and after shuffling the deck, they place that card on top of the deck. So unless you're just really unlucky in the fact that your opponent just happens to have some more insect type monsters in their deck, this card was basically, yeah, you're drawing Parasite next turn. You can't stop it. Once again, but if your opponent had some insect type monsters in their deck, they're just like, what? I'm not worried about that doggone card. Anywho, I guess this kind of concludes the whole Parasite overview, because compared to combos and stuff today, this is just like whatever. But at the same time, it's just like this is the insect deck people feared back in the day. Nowadays, we worry about Insectors. And let me tell you right now, I hate Insectors. I really do. I know that has nothing to do with the history video, but I really do not like Insectors. I just don't like them, okay? I've had some bad experiences with them. My buddy runs them, and they kind of hurt. They hurt big time. I actually almost want to use Insect Barrier just to see the look on his face. It's just like, wait, are you serious? And be like, yeah, I can get rid of it, but that's funny. Okay, I guess that's the end of that. I mean, like, at this point, I'm just kind of rambling on. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, suggesting what kind of deck you want me to do a little profile of next. If you have any suggestions, especially if you have any suggestions to get some recording software that actually records both sound from microphone and the screen at the same time, because this is getting on my nerves. So thanks for watching. Throw it a thumbs up, share, subscribe. Everything will be much appreciated. Thank you, Lord Ace Woods 1213. I'm out.